All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. So, whatever time you're going to watch this video, I will be discussing our next lesson, which is hypothesis testing, but this time using the two samples. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna follow the same process we did with one sample test. So, remember that we need 6 steps to conduct the hypothesis testing in one sample, but this time, what if the data provided to us is in two samples? So, meaning to say, there is, when you remember the one sample, it's actually just the general population value while the other one is your sample value in that either mean, proportion, variance. No, so basically we are trying to understand if our current sample is different or not different, better or not better than the status quo, which is the population value. That's for the one sample. Well, for the two sample, is that we are already somehow like comparing two types of data. Now we have two types of data here. We call it the dependent and independent demand. So when we say independent demand, they are mutually exclusive. So when we say mutually exclusive, they don't um they don't pair, no? So like for example, they don't match. Like for example, let's say the scores of this section comparing to the scores of the other section. So they're really very mutually exclusive. They don't happen at the same time. Okay, so that's for independent types. Now, for the dependent types, mean to say somehow the two population are related. So, like for example, your scores in the mock board exam and your scores in the final board exam. So, there is a related value for that or commonality because it is you as the subject who has those two sets of data. So, we call that the uh, dependent variable, or we call also that as related values or related data. Okay, so in line with that, we will be tackling, I think, 4 types of two sample testing, wherein if it is in terms of mean, okay, and then whether the variance is known and unknown, same rules with which we applied with the previous lessons. And then if they are related data, and the fourth is, of course, if it talks about proportion, okay, or a percentage, okay? So now, these are the outlines as mentioned. We will be discussing the difference in means of two normal distributions, but the variance is known. Another one is the difference in means of two normal distributions, but the variances are unknown. Then we compare means of two related populations and, of course, two population proportions. So we start first with variances known. Okay, so if the variance is known, sometimes it's being dictated in the problem, but in the real world scenario, you really have to compute if the variance is known. So we will do an F test on that. No? So we will discuss F test, I think on the fourth lesson, because this is the third lesson. So we will discuss F test later on. But for the purpose of discussion, we will be assuming that they are equal or not equal. Okay? So the variances are equal or not equal for the meantime. But in reality, you have to really test if the variances are not equal. Okay, so of course, we still do the step one, which is we know the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Again, the null hypothesis only takes equality, and the null hypothesis can take the inequalities. So, for example, the common scenario how you do the null hypothesis for two sample is mu1 is equal to mu2, or we can also call that as mu1 minus mu2 equals 0. So you can present it this way because if you transpose the value of mu2 on the left side, it will take up already the negative value, right? So equal to 0. So yeah, that's the law in math. Para ini-compute nato sa z computed later on, you will understand why the value was 0, okay? And then the HA could take up to mu1 is not equal to mu2, or mu1 is greater than mu2, or mu1 is less than mu2. And then, oh, sorry. And then it will also do it this way, no? Minus mu2 not equal to 0. So you can also transpose. Same goes with the other two. Okay? However, there will be problems that will dictate that the difference of the population mean is 3, is 4. So you have to really write the values here. So if the statement of the problem will say the difference of the two means are 4, then your problem should also look like this, or your null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis should also look like this. Okay, but in general, usually if the difference is not mentioned, automatic it is 0. Okay, so all right, so that's just some of the presentations. But again, please do not mind the less than or equal to in the null hypothesis. It's always equal. Okay, that was what I mentioned in the previous discussion. Okay, so the steps are the same. The only difference, even the getting of the value of z is the same for the table value. Where you have already familiarized, like if it is 99%, 90%, and 95%, it's still the same. Okay. The only difference we're gonna do is on the T table, because the value of the degrees of freedom is now -2 compared to the one sample wherein you just have to subtract one from the sample size. No? So in this case, you just had a new formula for the computed value of z, wherein this one is barred x of the first, so mean to say the mean, okay, barred x1 there is the mean of population 1, ano, sample ni siya, no? Of the sample or the first sample, while barred x2 is the mean of the second sample. Okay? Well, mu1 is the mean of the first population, while mu2 is the mean of the second population. Okay? And the sigma 1 square, since we assume that the variances are known, that's why we are actually using sigma. This is the variance of the first population, or the first sample, and the sigma 2 squared is the variance of the second population, where N1 is your sample size for population 1, or first population, and N2 is your sample size for the second population. Okay? So basically, those are just the difference, no? 'Di ba? Sa to ang one sample is zx minus mu over sigma over square root of n. So in here, the square roots now are the variance, the sum of the um dili siya product, but the quotient of the variance over its sample size. Okay? So anyways, those are just terms, no? So what's important is you know how to, or what to put in the z computed. Okay? So for example, you have this problem, no? So we follow the same process. So again, using the same process, we have our HO first. So in the statement here, a high school math teacher claims that the students in her class scores higher in math portion of the ACT than students in a colleague's math class. I mean to say, she's actually comparing her students' scores from her colleagues' scores. So meaning to say, it could be you could assign that the mu1 is her as the teacher, and the mu2 is sa iyahang colleague, which is same scores, no? But they're very independent because no one student has the same score. So they are mutually exclusive. Okay. So the mean ACT math score of the 49 students in her class, so mean to say X bar X1 is 49 students, and the standard dev, which is your sigma, is 4.8. While the mean ACT math score of her colleagues' class is 44, for the 44 students is 19.8, and the standard dev is 5.4 now. At point 0.1 level of significance, can the teacher's claim be supported? So therefore, your null hypothesis is the mean. Okay. We actually write it this way, di ba? Mu1 equals mu2, or mu1 is minus mu2 equals 0. So meaning to say, there is no difference among the two scores, right? So you can actually say it that way. The mean scores of the high school math teacher and her colleague are significantly the same or are not different. Pero somehow, di ba, I told you do not use no or not in the null hypothesis. So we can just say are the same, okay? But in your HA, or a null hypothesis, the score of your teacher's claim is greater than her colleague's score. Okay? Where you can write it this way as well, minus mu2 greater than or equal to 0. So mean to say, higher na siya. Now, there's already a value that says it's higher than her colleagues. So that's the first step. Now, the second step is your level of confidence. So that's 0.01, meaning that's actually, sorry, 0.1. So at 10% level of significance, or we call that 90% level of confidence. Okay, now the question is it one tail or two tails? So obviously we are going to use one tailed because it's greater than, no? So we're only focused on the right side, right side of the region. So if that's the case, you write now all the given values, diba? You are to write the sample size. So N1 is 49 students. N2 is 44 students. Okay. And then the mean of the first population is 22.1, while the barred uh, X of the second population is 19.8. So if you look at the difference, it's really very small, but could it say already that the teacher's claim is true? No? And then the standard deviation of the first population is 4.8, and the standard population of the second population is 5.4. Okay. Now, what else do we need? No, based on this given, we already have barred X, the standard deviation, and the mean, no? So if you look at this part, okay, let's continue on the steps. That's step 2, no? Step 3, obviously, since we're going to use Z here, at um we do not care yet if the variances are equal or not, because the n is greater than 30. Automatically we will use Z. So therefore, we now compute or get the Z table value. So the Z table value is positive. Since this is 90%, the one-tailed value for 90% is, that's 1.28, right? Let me recall. Yeah, 1.28. Okay. So let's see if the computed value is higher than 1.28, no? Then step 4 is our decision rule. So our decision rule is if z computed absolute value is greater than or equal to your z table, we will reject our claim that there is no, that they are the same, meaning the other one is better. While z computed is less than the z table, we will not reject HO. Okay, and then you go now to your step 5, which is the computed value. So BARD X1 is 22.1, right? So 22.1 minus 19.8. Now for the mu1 minus mu2, remember that your mu1 minus mu2 equals 0. That was what you stated in the null hypothesis. So just simply put that as 0. So again, it will take a value if the statement says that the difference among the two population means are 4, 5, 6. It depends if the problem is giving that. Okay, but in this case, since it's not being mentioned, and we're just concerned if it's the same or not, automatically the mu1 minus mu2 is 0. Okay? Over the square root of sigma 1, which is 4.8 and 5.4, no? 4.8 squared. So don't forget to square because that is not yet the variance. It's still the standard deviation over 49 plus 5.4 squared over 44. So we will now compute the z computed. So um, let us use, okay, so correct ako 1.28 now. So let's just use it here. I will not do the computation on that now. You can do that on your calculator. So the answer is 2.161. Now, for your decision rule, is ZT greater than ZC is greater than ZT, which is obviously yes, because 2.161 is greater than 1.28. Therefore, we reject HO. So mean to say, it's not the same anymore. We will reject this one. Therefore, the answer is there is already a mean difference. And it's even better than the claim of the teacher is true that her class is better than her colleague's class. So your decision is mu1 is not, no, sorry, because this is one-tailed, is now greater than your mu2. Okay, so that is now your final answer. But you have to really discuss the answers, the mean scores of the mean score of Miss, because they did not mention the name now, of her class is better or is greater than her colleague's class. Okay? So we're gonna do the same with this time if the variances are unknown. So let me just save this image. Now, what if this time the variances are unknown and the value of n is now less than 30? So we will now use t-test this time. Now, for the t-test, we have two types. The pooled variance. Wait lang. I think this value is too huge. Let me redo it. So we have two types. If the variances are known, we use the pooled t-test. However, if the variances are unknown, we use the separate variance t-test. So what changes here is actually just the computed value of t, no? So meaning, sorry, not unknown. Sorry, my mistake. Again, I'll repeat, no? If the variances are equal, not known, okay? If known and unknown, that's for the consideration if it's z or t. If the variances are equal, then we use pooled t-test. However, if the variances are not equal, then we use separate variance t-test. Okay, so I stand corrected. Now look at the formula. So what changed? So for the pool variance t-test, if you notice, it's actually similar to the um, z-test. The only difference is you computed for the value of SP. No, that's the pooled estimator of variance. And instead of sigma square on the square root, we actually use 1. No? So for the SP, that's your degrees of freedom of the first sample multiplied by the standard deviation, oh, sorry, the variance case is square. Variance of the first sample or sample variance of the first sample plus the degrees of freedom of your second sample multiplied by the variance of the second sample over your degrees of freedom for this. So the computation now for the degrees of freedom for t-test here is your sample 1 plus your sample 2 minus 2. But we're gonna use the same t-table. Okay? While the separate variance t-test is if uh, the variances are not equal. So if the variances are not equal, we will compute for the degrees of freedom very separately. Like your variance over your sample size of the first population plus the variance of your second sample over the sample size of the second sample multiple or quantity squared over your sample, your variance of the first sample over your sample size square over your degrees of freedom of the first sample plus your sample size of, or sorry, variance over your sample size of the second squared over your degrees of freedom of the second sample. So, gubot kayo siya na taas kasi. Okay, so you can do index card on this one. Then, to compute for the TC, you just have to subtract it. So, both numerators are the same. The only difference is on the denominators. So, in the denominators, it's actually similar to your Z, no? So, it's the variance of the sample size of the first, sorry, sample variance of the first sample over your sample size of the first sample, plus the variance of your second sample over the sample size of your second sample squared. So, similar siya sa Z. But, the difference lang is the computation of the degrees of freedom for you to look into the t-table. Okay na mo, guys? Kaya pa. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say is, for the pooled variance, it's easy to locate the table value because the table value is only computed through N1 plus N2 minus 2. In the computation of your computed value, the new unit here is the SP. Gets? So, ang nausab ra si SP. While sa separate variance t-test, the computation of your degrees of freedom is the complicated one. And then somehow the answer could be in decimal value. So always round it up. Okay, that's our rule. We round it up. And then that's the time we go to the table and find its value. Okay. However, in the computation of its computed value, it's very easy. It's almost similar to Z. Hopefully you're getting what I'm saying, no? So so that's the difference among the two. So actually, the part where it's complicated is only on these two. So hopefully, ma'am, can you give us variances known and unknown in the statement so that it's easy for us to determine whether we use variance known or variance is unknown. Okay, so hopefully you get this one out. Okay, so for you to have a guide on this one, you will have to ask yourself now, are both sample sizes at least 30? If it's 30, then okay, go ahead, use z-test. Mom, can you give us more than 30 na lang so that we will not use pooled or separate variance z-test? However, if the sample sizes are less than 30, which is our golden rule. Now we will ask the next question. Are both populations normally distributed? If yes, then we proceed with the next question. However, if it's a no, you cannot use ZRT test. That's a separate test, no, which we hopefully we can still discuss, but there's actually a separate test for not normal, not normally distributed samples or data. Now, if it is normally distributed, the next question is, are the standard deviations or the variances are known? Now, if they are known, matikrata z-test, no? However, if the variances are not known, we will now compute using T pooled or T separate variance t-test or pooled variance t-test. Okay? Now, given this example, no? For example, here, sorry. Oops, what happened? Let, let me me open that again. I think there's an error in the... Okay, kanina lang. Okay. PDF na lang ta. All right. So for example here, a random sample of 14 police officers in Brownsville has a mean annual income of 35,800 and a standard deviation of 7.8. In Greensville, a random sample of 15. So 14 and 15 automatically no, n is less than 30. So yun na din ka. Oh, it pulled me or separate. Okay? Then after that, we test the claim at point 0.1 level of significance that the mean annual incomes in the two cities are not the same. So mean to say, we want to know if it's the same or not the same. Now, nice statement diri. Assume that the population variances are equal. So if that's the case, then automatic we use pooled t-test, knowing that the n is less than 30. Okay? Now you will not add n1 and n2 ha. Pasabot niya is the n1 alone is less than 30 and the n2 alone is less than 30. Okay, proceed. So what's your HO then? So your HO daw is your mu1 is just equal to your mu2 because that's the standard, no? Same lang sila. That's the status quo. There's no changes at all. And it was not mentioned the actual difference of the two. Therefore, it is safe to say that it is safe to say that mu1 minus mu2 is actually 0. No? However, your HA is they are not the same. So I think we have a two-tailed test here. All right, now let's proceed to the second step. The second step is your level of significance, which is 0.01. That's 99% to tailed. Now, you will not be focusing on Z here because you are actually going to use t-test because N1 is and N2 are both less than 30. So therefore, you will compute for the degrees of freedom knowing that the variances are equal because there's an assumption that the population variances are just equal. So if that's the case, N1 plus N2 minus 1. So that's 14 plus 15 minus, sorry, not minus 1, minus 2. So that's actually 29 minus 2, 27. So that's our basis in looking at the value at that t table. Okay, now let's write the other given values, no? So your N1 is 14, your N2 is 15, sorry. Your bar X1 is 35,800 as the mean annual income, while your bar X2 is $35,100. And And your standard deviation 1 is 7.8. And the standard deviation of the second sample is 7.375. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so those are the given values. Now let's proceed to the third rule, which is to get the t table value. So for the critical value t table, we go to the t, we go to the t table. Let me just share the t table here. So that we don't need to open new tabs. Same rule again. The degrees of freedom was 27, right? So let's look at the value of I'm sorry, T table, where are you? Wait lang ha. I think I can search from here. Yeah. T table. Okay. We're using this one, right? So 27 at two-tailed 90%. Am I correct? Two-tailed at 90%. So two-tailed 99%. Sakto ba? 99% ba? Double check na to. What was the question? Point 1. So 99% two-tailed. So that's point 1, 99%. Two-tailed man siya. So the ana naman day two-tailed diri. Okay. No need to divide the error no. So two-tailed at 90%. Diri tani. Yep, sorry. 0.01. So 27. Ding, 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 27. Here. So the value is 2. Can you see? 2.771. Okay. So let us verify if I am correct. Perfect. So plus, oops, sorry. Okay, so let's have the table value. Uy, nawa lagi. Okay, let's continue. So therefore, that's plus minus because it's two-tailed 771. Next, same rule. T computed is greater than T table value. Reject HO. And then if the T computed is less than the T table, do not reject HO. Okay, so this is now the complication starts. We will now compute for the T computed value. So going back to the formula, the T computed value, are, pole variance man ta. So therefore, we compute for the SP first. So the SP is square root of 14 minus 1. Variance of the first, which is, pila to? 7, 8 squared. Ilagyan na siya makita. That's minus, right? Ay, wait lang. Hindi lagi makita ang sakuan. PDF. Na-error ang sa PDF. Let me go back to the... Ay, no, not this one. There. Okay. Okay, iyang nako ng formula. So, there. So, plus na siya. Plus. That's 15 minus 1. That's 7,375, right? 7,375. 7,778. Okay. 7,375 squared. Over degrees of freedom, which is actually your 27. No? So the SP is hopefully, ari na lang ta ha, para di na to. I'll not do the computation in the calcu anymore. So for this part, there. SP is 7,582.6038. Okay, and then we compute now the TC, which is bar x1 minus bar x2 minus 0 over your SP, which is 7,582.6038. Again, four decimal places, over 1 over N1 plus 1 over N2. So therefore, your T computed is very small, 284. Sorry, 2484. So obviously, your decision is T computed is less than your T table. That's 2.771. Sorry, T computed first. 0.2484 less than 2.771. That means do not recheck HO. So it's not safe to say yet that the income of the police officers in Brownsville is equal to the income of the, do not reject pa man siya. So, same pa sila. The income of Brownsville is equal to the income of Greensville police officers. Okay? Now, we do the same. No, I'm not gonna put everything in writing anymore for the pooled variance. Ari na lang ta sa discussion on how did you use the DF. So in this case, wala niya round off, no? So we follow the rules of rounding up. If it's 5 and above, we use now the next value. If less than 5, so 4 below, we use the lower value. Okay, so in this case. So here, gimension na po niya that assume that the population variances are not the same. So that's why it used the separate variance t-test. So in this case, same ra gihapon ang rule, same or not the same. However, in the computation of your degrees of freedom this time, instead of N1 plus N2 minus 2, you actually computed it this way, 'di ba? The standard deviation squared, or the variance over the sample size 1 plus the variance of the second population over n, then quantity squared, so on and so forth. Now, actually, there's a trick, no? Because if you add here 10 communities in, okay, 10 plus 10 is 20, minus 2 is 18. There are times that the problem is actually, even though when you computed the DF in a very long method, it's actually similar to the value when you do N1 plus N2 minus 2. But in this sample, it's not that true. So it's not true to all, but somehow it's a trick lang na you can actually check, no? There are times that it happens like that way. The only difference is dako kayo ang variance difference nila, like 7.63 and 15.3. So the variances are really not equal at all. Very obvious. Okay? So kana siya. And then you do the test statistic gihapon, the one we did a while ago. Since the DF is 13 at 5%, two-tailed. So two-tailed at 5%, 0.05. Degrees of freedom is 13. So that's why the answer is 2.160. Okay, so when you look at the T-table, it's 2.160. So going back, therefore, in the computation of your TC, it's somehow almost similar with the Z, no? And you got a negative value since the decision rule is it's the absolute value. So 2.77, is it greater than 2.160? Yes, therefore we rejected the HO. That's why there is already a strong evidence that the mean arsenic concentration in drinking water in rural Arizona is really different with the mean arsenic concentration in Metro Phoenix. Okay? Now, let's go to, so actually um you're just going to substitute values ra gyud. Okay? The only difference that happened with pooled and separate variance thetas is for pooled, you computed for the SP to be used in the computed value, or TC. But for the separate variance thetas, You had a different way of computing DF just to locate your T-table value, but the computed value is very simple. Okay, so that's the difference among the two. Now let's go to the third one, which is the independent and dependent demand, wherein it says that we will use um, paired t-test only for dependent samples. The sample I gave, like some mock board and the board exam. So, for example, here, sample size is weights of 24 students in the first grade class and the height of the same 24 students. So that's related data, no? Because it could be that my weight and my height will be compared. While the average price of 15 new trucks and the price of 20 sedans, it's entirely different from the trucks and the sedans. So you cannot, they're very independent from each other. So therefore, the z-test for mean difference is only for related data. So the computation, so the only difference is if the computed value is now computed this way. Your ZC or computed value, so mean to say guys, wala ni siya, there's no TC on this. It's automatic Z. We will use Z test for mean difference. Sorry. I stand corrected. Z again if the N is greater than 30 gihapon and T is if less than 30. Okay, so for per usually um teeny siya because kanang the paired values are usually below 30. No, it's really hard to gather more than 30 samples for paired values like kanang mga mockboard. Although for mockboards, yes, you can have many because the data is readily available. But for those, let's say nagkuan ka, nag-experimental test ka, usually we use T. But you know what? The formula is the same. No, so it's not really a problem at all. Okay, so to compute for the computed value, so same ra gihapon, the HO is the same, no? The only way you dictate it is they have equal differences and the other one is they do not have equal difference. Inana ra imong statement. And then the um level of significance is the same, the given values are the same. However, you are going to compute this time the bar D. The bar D is actually the average of your differences. Okay? Matias akong agi. Nanamta ko'y pencil for a while. This is actually the average of all the differences. So how do you compute that? So meaning to say, sample 1 minus sample 2, na difference, sample 2 minus the other one, yung related, tanang difference imo i-average. That's what you did. That's the reason of the summation of all the values, no? And then, the mu d is the assumed difference over sigma d, which is the standard deviation of the differences over square root of n. While the paired d test is same formula, the only difference is you actually have to compute for your SD. Kay unknown man ang ihang variant, so you have to compute for it. So if you compute for it, it's actually just the, mura ni siya og, we call it the mean square error. Because you actually computed the difference minus the mean difference squared gets over your degrees of freedom. No? So, by the way, n here represents the number of paired tests. So, if there are 10 paired tests, di na siya 20, 10 ra na siya. Okay, paired tests man siya, paired types man siya, paired sample size. Okay, sige, I'll give an example, no, para mas klaro siya. So, for example, here, you have 6 students. So your N here is actually 6, not 12. Okay, so yung score before and score after. Now, since obvious man siya, we're gonna use D on this, T on this, because the sample size is less than 10, automatically we use the um t. Okay, so in that case, how you're going to write the sample? So the HO there is your mean difference is just the same, while the HA is the mean difference is less than 0. So there's already a difference no, of the scores. So we can say nga ni better na gyud siya kay less than 0 naman siya. So imong score ni higher na siya. Okay? Because based on the statement, is there enough evidence to conclude that the student scores after the course are better than the scores before the course? So mean to say, they learned something from the course because their scores are higher. Therefore, less than 0 gani ang difference, mean to say that means higher na ilahang scores. Gets ra? Kay kung mu d is greater than 0, that means wala day difference ra at all kay parehas man lang score sa previous. Gets? So that's why it should be less than 0. So meaning mas dako na ang mean differences. Okay? It's better than 0 na. So wala, di na siya pareho. Hopefully you get it as explained that way. Because if a greater than na nato siya, mean to say, mas dako gyapon og value. See? 0 as a difference. So bali man gud siya og concept. No? So hopefully you get that right. Now, oops. Okay. So for your level of significance is 0.05, one-tailed, okay? And this time we are going to compute for the degrees of freedom because this is n. Number of pairs population minus 1, so that's 6 minus 1, that's 5. So that's how we are going to get the value of t at the t table. Okay. Then we now compute for the t table. So going back to the t table, we have to get negative 2.015. So since this is 50% one-tailed, sorry, 0.5 one-tailed, so dirita mo tanaw, no? And then, tingnan 6. Okay, wait lang ha, 0.05 one-tailed. 0.05 one-tailed. Here. Degrees of freedom. Dati, nalibat ko. Degrees of freedom is 5, not 6 mo. Di akong gitan. Okay, 1.943. 5 man di ang degrees of freedom na. So, 2.015. So, that's correct. So, going back. So, therefore, T table value is negative 2.015. And then, kay less than man na nga to ang ano, hypothesis. Now we compute for the decision rule. So it's the same. Now I'm not gonna write that again. So same ang decision rule. Let's now go to the T computed. So for the T computed, the formula is bar D minus mu D over SD over square root of N. So let's compute first for the bar D so that we can compute for the SD, no? So the bar D is actually based on this, okay? So the difference of 85 minus 83, that's 3. Wait, let me check if yeah, so we use the negative value gihapon. So that's negative 3, okay, plus 11 minus 19 minus 10 minus 11 minus 11 all divided by 6 because that is negative 43 over 6. Therefore, the mean difference is actually negative 7.167. Okay. Now, for the SD, the computation for the SD is the kuan man to siya, bagsa-bagsa man to siya. So sum of the values. So ang yung gibuhat diri is iya na lang um ganun square man siya. Dapat difference man. So supposed to be for the SD, the summation man siya no of the difference minus the mean square over n, di ba? Over n minus 1. then square root. So what we're gonna do is compute yun na to. Hopefully, yung i-show na rin, no? It should have been better if na-show to siya. So, mean to say, ang difference na -3, guys, minus niya sa -7.167, gi-square na siya. Plus, so gisum tanan, C, 11 na pod, minus ni -7.167 square. Okay, taas kay siya, no? And sige, ato na lang I'll show it in Excel, no? Para it's better for you to understand it that way. Okay. Let me share an Excel file. Para makasabot mo sa point ni SD, no? So for SD, okay, let's write the given values. Hopefully, I am sharing. Yeah, I am sharing now. So, that's 85, 88, 96, 85, 70, 89, 76, 86, 81, 92, 78, and 89. So if we subtract, no, before and after, that's -3, 11, 19, -19, -10, -11, and -12. So to compute for the mean D, so I'll put it here. Ayaw lang. Mean man siya. So, diri siya. So, pwede mo siya i-average, right? Kung Excel. Okay, that's -1.67. But if ato na siyang i-mano-mano, that's actually sum of all the values divided by 6, which is you have to use or acknowledge the negative value. Now, for the SD, kuhaon daw kuno nimo ang value ni D minus sa iyahang mean D. I can do fix on that. No, if an F4 na nako siya para fix, I can drag the values. So, ang gibuhat, guys, si 11, gi-minus kang -1.667. Tapos, diri na pod, si -19, gi-minus kang -1.666. So, these are the values. Now, ang rule niya is, ingon siya, square pag yun ni sila. So, ato pag yun na silang square, no? Ang ilahang difference. Okay? So, we can actually change the computation. No? Or we can do that way. Pwede na na to sila ibang square. Okay? Para mas makita ninyo ang difference. So, medyo taas ni siya if iman-human. Mo, tuningon ko na it's really just tedious if more than more than if less than 30, but if more than 30, automatic naman the variance is given, no? Tapos after that you've squared that, we will get the sum. So sum iyang gipangayo, sum of those squares. Okay? Then, ang n minus 1, which is the number of pairs, so 6. So, therefore, ang kaninga sum to get the SD is the square root, no, moment to ang given, square root of your sum values over n minus 1, which is 6 minus 1, or divided by 5, no? Square root of all the quantity. So the answer is 10.2453241 or 10.24531. Sige lang, I'll save this one so that you have a guide. This is for the SD computation, no? Sa paired p-test. Para naamoy guide how I computed it. Okay, hopefully you remember your algebra in this, huh? Algebra ni siya. So going back, I'm gonna share the iPad again. Kay lisod mo gud siya ipakita no as mano-mano. So looking back, sakto na ang answer, 10.245. No, gimano-mano gid siya. So therefore, to compute for the TC is actually negative 7.1667 minus, there's no mean difference, over your SD, which is 10.245 over square root of 6. So the answer is negative 0.714. Now, is it greater than the t value? No. So dili pa data sure nga better ang iyang scores kay based on the differences gagmay raman. Di man yun kayo siya dako. So the answer there is not to reject HO. Therefore, wala pa enough evidence to support the claim that your scores now after the course is better than before paghihatag ang course. Okay, so do not reject HO ni siya. Okay, so the mean D is equal pa siya to 0. Dili pa siya better. Alright? So, we now go to the last one. Now, this time, for the last one, is what if we're comparing two population means. So, for two population means, morasad ni ang difference niya. So, your HO will now be, sa, your HO will now be pi na pod. So, pi 1 is equal to pi 2, or pi 1 is minus pi 2 equals 0. And then the HA is pi 1 is not equal to pi 2, or pi 1 is greater than or less than the pi 2. Ana ra. No? Unya na, usab na pod kay ang Z computed ra gihapon. Now, the value of Z is the same. Katong akong gihatag, 99%, 90%, 95%, 1.28, 1.645, 1 tail, 2 tail. Kato ra gihapon. The only difference is the computation for the computed value, which is through the formula. Bard P1, so mean to say that's the given minus sa sample size 2 minus usually 0 ra ni siya kung wala gihatag ang mean difference over the square root of bard P, which is your mean 1 plus mean 2 over N1 plus N2. So, i-compute pa nimo si bard P in this case. And the caret P1 caret is your kato given mo to dingon ko given siya si bard x1 over n1 and bard p2 is x2 over n2. Okay, so pariha ani nga example. So ako na lang ihatag ang pag-identify sa bard p o bard 1p, no? So in this case, ingon siya, recent survey stated that male college students smoke less than female. Wow. In a survey of 1 to mo ba? Male college students smoke less than female college students. Okay. In a survey of 1, 2, 4, 5 male students, so nakay two population, si male o si female. So 1 to 4, 5, so ang N1 di ay nimo, kung male ang N1, ang first population, 1 to 4, 5 na siya. Tapos ang niingon nga mo smoke sila kay 361 ra. They will smoke at least one pack of cigarettes per day. Sa female, kay of 1,065, ang musmo kay 341. Okay? At alpha equals 0.1, can you support the claim that the proportion of male college students who smoke at least one pack of cigarettes per day is lower? Is ano all? Is lower than uh, the female college students. So therefore, if bar 1 na siya, kung sa HO pa, equal to bar 2, meaning same na siya, bar 1 minus bar 2 is no difference, then si bar 1 um, is less than daw kuno sa bar 2. Kaya mo to ang claim nga mas smoker daw ang female. Eh, di ko mo to ni. Okay? Anyways, study man siya. Study shows. So, in here lang, P1 iyang gi-use, but you can actually use pi, ha? Pi lang ginatong gamitan. Now, for the computation of your, so, di ba, kabantay mo, the computation of Z is equal ra gyud sa ato ang pag-compute getting the value of Z at N is greater than 30. So, inig-compute na nimo sa imuhang, dara, i-compute na nimo ana, okay? So Z computed then is 361 over 1245. So gipang shortcut tinakwa minus 341 over 1065 minus 0 kay P1 minus P4 0 naman to no. Over, sige, mo-compute pa ka sa barred P lagi daw. So that's 361 plus 341 over 1245 plus 1065. Sige, ako compute din diri ha. That's 361 plus 341 divided by 1245 plus 1065. That's 0.3039. So you can actually use that as square root of 0.3039, 1 minus 3.30, ay sorry, libat ako. 0.3039. Then 1 over 1245 plus 1 over 1065. Okay? So, ano ra? No? Imo rang gipang substitute yun ang values. So, therefore, the answer is, so same tawag answer, no? That's negative 2.0419. Now, is it greater than 2.33? No. So, there, do not reject H o gihapon ta. That means, wala pa enough evidence at 1% level of confidence that mas smoker ang female kaysa sa male. Or less than si male kaysa ni female. That's good news. Okay? So, mo to siya na siya summary here. If the sigma is known or unknown, we question now if equal ba sila variances. If yes, we use pool variance. If no, we use separate variance. If known ra pud ang sigma, mangutana na pud ta if the n is greater than 30. If yes, we use z. If t, we go to separate variance t-test again. Okay, however, if it's an independent proportion, we use z, p1 minus p2. Then if related sila, mo question na pud ta kung known ba or unknown, then we use z. If n is greater than 30, then we use sorry, if less than, we use the T. And ang pag-compute sa SD is katubag sa bagsa summation of the difference. More siya mean square error. Okay? So, ayaw lang sa ni-mind ang mga seatworks diha. We focus on the, we focus on this caselet that I will give together with this video. Okay, so I hope you've learned something today. As you've watched this video, please feel free to go back and forth on the parts that I have discussed. And if you have further questions, kindly comment down in the comment section. Please provide your name, your section, and your comments so that we can address that next meeting. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I hope you give this a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe to my channel. Bye!